So yesterday I uploaded a video titled, "Is my Xbox One Elite controller broken or defective?" And upon further investigation, which unfortunately when you're a PC gamer sometimes you have to do, I found out it is neither. Now the reason I made that video is simple. When you spend $150 on a controller, you expect everything, and I mean everything, to work. And when some things aren't working, when you're going through the trials and the paces, which I do, which involves playing a vast amount of 2D games, Mega Man games, Contra, Street Fighter, emulators, regular games, PC games, you name it, when one little itty bitty thing goes wrong, then I get nervous, especially when the controller is $150. Make no mistake, this is a quality controller, but if I had to go over it again, and I had to make the decision again, I would stick with the Xbox 360 controller. Maybe it's because I don't like the Xbox One controller as much as I like the Xbox 360 controller, but if they made an Xbox 360 Elite controller and made that with a D-pad that's actually good, then to me that would probably be the most perfect controller ever made on the planet. So, let's get into the issue with the controller. The issue is the impulse triggers, or as I will call them, the irrelevant triggers. I don't believe these triggers have any benefit to gaming at all. Some people may like them, I do not. But let me read off what exactly the problem is. The issue is that with Windows 10 and the Xbox One controller, Microsoft split triggers off onto their own axes. So instead of left trigger being Z minus and right trigger being Z plus, they're on their own axis, but set to -100 or so. So programs reading them the way they were traditionally used will always see a Z minus value. It was a good change in theory, but messed up a lot of things. So in general, what is always happening is, because of these impulse triggers, the controller is always being read Z minus, which is why when I picked up my Project 64 emulator and every button I clicked on it, automatically, because Z minus is set in a neutral position, everything I click on will be Z minus. Now we can go into different threads. We can see right here. Xbox One forums, tech related, Xbox One controller, Z minus access, and Z rotation issue on the PC. So I'm trying to play some good classic games on Project 64. And I was configuring the controller setting each time I press anything, no matter what button I press, it always remained Z minus. And that's the exact problem I had. Now we have some solutions I have not implemented yet, but I will implement them, and if I find out that they work, I will make another video. But the more interesting thing is, even in games like on GOG, for example, Grandia 2, which is an amazing RPG, I own it on the Dreamcast. You can either get the Dreamcast version, the crappy PS2 version, or you can get the upgraded port that they just released on Steam a couple weeks or a couple months ago. I don't know. Either way, Grandia 1 and Grandia 2 are quality games. But right here, as you can see, this guy's complaining about Grandia 2. He's playing with the Xbox One controller. Be warned, on Windows 10, both triggers are mapped independently on two separate axes. The Z-axis and the rotation Z-axis. So this problem just doesn't happen to emulators. It happens to all other games too. Apparently, if the game is made like a Batman game, I guess, it's just made properly. I don't know, because the game's already on the Xbox One, so it probably just works. But this is a problem that Microsoft needs to fix. It was driving me crazy. When I get a $150 controller, things like this make me believe that my controller is faulty. And when drivers are not working correctly for I'll repeat myself, a $150 controller, to me, that's a problem. And wow, PSO World. Never thought I would ever come back to this website, but I used to use this website a ton back in the day for Phantasy Star Online on the GameCube and even Blue Burst on the PC.